Hello everyone and welcome to Shadow Legends Assemble Episode 3, your weekly raid podcast. I am your host, TheSaffronMan, and today with me we have Cold Brew Gaming. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey everyone, I'm doing good. Having my coffee here, so I'm ready for the podcast.
Perfect, man. I think coffee is on order from everyone today. Speaking of coffee, we also have Mr. OpticalX. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. Doing great. I have my coffee too, and I ate some donuts.
Wow, so you are pumped. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And also with us today we have Hell Hades. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, really good, man. Really good. Yeah, mid-afternoon for me, so I've been chilling in the garden last couple of hours. I'm good to go.
Mate,
Good.
we've got some weather lately, haven't we?
Yeah, it's lovely today. Really, first day in shorts for a long time. Yeah,
First day, Hell Hades in shorts. That is an image. Okay.
Showing the legs, showing the calves.
Okay, so I just want to kind of catch up on how everyone week's been doing, really. I kind of want to start off Hell Hades. I mean, so we started off, we mentioned the first time you were on an episode, you literally 4 months into YouTube and how much of a how much of a roller coaster ride, like, upwards you've been doing and how busy you've been. And you've started streaming on Twitch this week, and man oh man, as Twitch starts goes, you've kind of killed it. So how's that been for you, buddy?
It's been awesome, actually. Yeah, really fun. For me, it's great because it's so much kind of more immediate interaction with people, which is cool for me. So just kind of feeding off the guys in the room. But yeah, I got my partnership last night, so I'm buzzing.
Mate, you got partnership within a week? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's madness. Yeah,
Mate, if Stu was here, I think he had to literally, I think he was like 9 months in, and he had to like apply the partnership, and he was waiting like weeks and weeks for that notice to be, if he's got accepted or not. And you've got it within a week, mate. So, mate, that's...
well, no, in fairness, I got confirmed that I can apply. I applied yesterday, so I don't know how long that's going to take. Maybe that will take. But anyway, it's on its way. It's on its way.
Mate, well, many congratulations. I literally tuned in on the first stream, and because you mentioned about getting some panels and stuff, like whether you're getting free or to pay. So I got my free panels, and they're great for now. And Hades is like, yeah, I'll invest in the channel a little bit. I'll get a kickstart. He got some panels, and I think I went on, the first comment was that palette, that border around your cam border doesn't work or something like that. So I was like, oh, mate, is that all got? Have you kind of fixed that? Like, because that was so funny. Just typical. You invest in your channel and they're like, get rid of it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I kept some bits of it. Some bits of it stayed, but yeah, you know, I was a novice, so.
That's
and
crazy.
I still am.
Aren't we all? Cold Brew, what have you been up to this week, man? What have you been up to on your channel?
Yeah, nothing crazy. I've been streaming too, about 3 times a week.
Okay.
Well, this week we had the fusion going on, so I was busy investing all my gems in that. But yeah, nothing really special other than that.
God, that fusion. We're going to dive right into that fusion. But yeah, we're going to go through like the history of the fusions, to be fair, and finish up where we've got the fusion for this week, because I think it's kind of crazy. OpticalX, man, you've had a crazy week as well. I mean, it's always a fun time on your channel. What have you been up to, man?
Yeah, it's super hot here, so I'm a pool boy. In case you guys didn't know, in case no one's joked about it yet. So I work in the heat, but it's cool now. But yeah, I usually stream like every day. So we just been streaming, and then last night was kind of a disappointment with the 2x event, but that's okay. It's behind me. I'm not gonna.
Well, I want to bring it up because I had a really bad night too, right? So I had 3 sacreds, 6 voids, and I ended up reloading on the ancients 3 times for 900 gems. And I had like, I think it was 58 or something ancients, and literally I got 3 epics which I didn't have, and the rest was just food. And I was very disappointed. I opened up several shards for the community. I think we had several with 14. Some of them had some great pulls. But yeah, I got zip. How did you guys do with your pulls, if you did any?
I'll go first. Well, for my account, I opened like 105 ancients.
Okay.
And I got 1 Lego. I got Minaya. So.
Okay, nice.
Nothing special.
Nice.
No epics. No good epics out of that. So.
So at this point, I'm just trying to fill in the holes. I think if I go through like the Bannerlords, like there's only like I don't need any epics of the Bannerlords. I'm just trying to get stuff I don't have already. So to get a 3 epics, which I didn't already have, I think that's quite a result really. But yeah, I mean Hades. I mean, so funny story. So we've got a clan member called Mickey who's in one of our other Safflings, and he ended up getting Hell Hades in his champion tournament. And he wasn't happy because he was on like 3,000 points and working his way up, and Hades was on like 11,000 points.
Yeah.
And
I did pull a few last night. So I was live on Twitch last night, and I did 200 ancients.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
I got somebody else in that same group. Yeah, I've got somebody that I did an account takeover for, who I know's quite a whale. He does whale out on these events, so he's above me actually. He's got about 12,000 points already, and he said to me, "Are you going to pull any more?" And I was like, "I might pull 1 or 2 more." But yeah, I pulled a Valk.
Oh, you got a Valk? Oh.
Yeah, my first Valk, it was a really cool pull, and I got a dupe Mashald. So,
oh my, overkill.
Yeah, so 2 absolute top tier pulls nowadays. I mean, yeah, Mashald has become a legend overnight. I'd say, awesome champ now.
Yeah, I think Murder Inc. has done some crazy builds on him, and there has been so many good videos out there on Mashard this week. And yeah, he's just been ripping it up really. So it's kind of like a Draco buff, I would say. It's definitely game changing for him. So that's great. Okay, so let's jump right in. So today, chat, we're literally going to be catching up on the rushes, the Gold Rush and the Raid Rush. We're gonna talk about how 1.14 sort of how it ended up going. We're going to talk about Leech as well, because that's just been pretty much a game changer overnight also. We're going to go through like the history of the fusions, and then we've got some info on 1.15, which I'm very excited for. And if we have some time at the end, we're going to try and talk about the music video competition, which we didn't have time for last week, but we will see how we go. But starting off, guys, we've got the Gold Rush. Is that still going, or is it the Raid Rush still going? I'm getting confused. Are they both still going?
I think they've pretty much both come to a close. So Chosen won the Gold Rush.
Okay.
So it was me, Chosen, Cold Brew, Stu, and Verdi in that one. And Chosen won it in literally like 3 days.
Wow.
It was pretty insane. I thought I had a good couple of days left. Probably played it a bit too casually, really.
Okay.
And I was literally streaming, and the guy was like, "Chosen's about to win." And I thought they were just like joking. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, no, he's literally like climbing up through gold now.
Yeah.
And we all got to give away our accounts as well in the end, which was quite a nice thing from Plarium. So actually, it ended up being, although it was quite short-lived, it'd been probably better if it was a few more days. But it was actually quite a fun competition.
So if it happens again, you're going to change your tactics, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I think what Chosen did, I think we would change the setup of it slightly, because he realised he was on a bit of a roll in the arena, and then just started refreshing, looking for some of the easier fights.
Yeah.
So he pushed himself up pretty quickly, and I was down with a different mindset of get your structure right for the team. When you're right, you can then start that push. And I didn't start the push anywhere near early enough, so I was still farming gear when people are like finishing the whole thing.
Yeah.
So exactly. Yeah, I was a bit behind.
Okay, and the Raid Rush, you said that's come to a close. Oh, so the Brutal Rush, is that right? Brutal Rush, Raid Rush.
Yeah, Brutal Rush. The Brutal Rush was about basically taking a team of uncommons or commons and trying to freestyle the whole campaign through to Brutal 12/7.
Brutal.
Okay.
So that was that, and again, so that's been going on for the last week or so, and that's been really good fun to try out new champions, try out can you do this completely free to play? How quickly can you do it? What's the best way to farm experience and all this type of stuff? And yeah, so again, that came to a close a couple of days ago. A few of the guys did it very quickly again. They did it in about 4 days.
Wow.
And Stu beat me to it, so it was kind of like the me v Stu challenge for the week.
Right.
Stu beat me using sniper. I probably went again for the wrong champion. I went for Damphir, thinking she was really cool and she couldn't handle bosses.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's been good fun actually. This type of stuff, it just kind of breathes a bit of life into the game, I think.
So they're obviously first iterations of their kind. Are we kind of hoping and expecting an evolution of those going forward, or a 2.0? Maybe.
And maybe ask Cold Brew, what do you think of them? Because I thought they were pretty good fun, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty good fun. I think the next rush we will probably have like a Dragon 20 rush, if we ever gonna do one, like the content creators. I think that would be a good one for everyone to participate. Like going to do Dragon 20 with all rares or something like that, or all epics that you summon. That would be a cool one.
Mate, that would be
the nice thing about Brutal Rush is that the community were able to get involved in that one. So you know, everyone was kind of playing along. There was a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of kind of buzz about it.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do something like that again. Whether we do it in the same format, I don't know. But certainly the guys at Plarium are up for doing something like it again as well. So you know, we're kind of pushing on an open door if we want to do it.
So chat has suggested like some maybe to add like some kind of point system. So if you were to do like your characters and just maybe some kind of pointing system where you earn points as you go along for doing certain things, and that point system could be visible to everyone on your channel, so they would know that Chosen was at 50 points or Hades was at 47 or something like that. A point system always adds sort of interaction, so they can sort of take part in that points and take note on that. But maybe that'd be cool. I mean,
that'd be quite cool. Yeah,
we've had quite a lot of ideas to help you out.
For getting so far in the dragon, and then 70 points for getting this high in the arena. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Just some kind of points tally, so they can literally visually see, like a league table. They could visually see a league table and who's overtaking who, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
So that'd be a good visual representation as to who is doing what so far. But yeah, we've had lots of little ideas like that. So whatever, man. That's really good. I think the community have been really enjoying it. Incredible John really enjoyed it. I think we've got Stu and John's actual Raid Rushers accounts in our clan right here. Just
oh really?
Yeah. So we've got Brew Rush Stu and we've got John in our clan.
Nice.
John has even joined the Saffronauts this week as well. So he got kicked from his clan or something for whatever reason. So he's with us now. So it's great to have him. I don't know why he got kicked, but okay. So 1.14 guys, like mainly the item filtering system, because the clan boss has kind of been in sort of disarray this week, even though it's kind of fixed now. But I mean, I kind of had the wrong interpretation with this item filtering system. Okay, so I stocked up on all my gear, and I was in hope that the item filtering system was going to help me sort the good and the bad stuff. But really, it's just for helping you gear your characters, right? It's a gearing characters assistant tool, not a gear filtering tool, if that makes any sense, a gear sorting tool. But other than that, for building characters, I have found it like really useful, but it's not what I was personally took the interpretation for, honestly. But that's just me. But I mean, Hades, you've been making some great stuff with that item filtering system, right? You're really enjoying it.
Well, I think it's a game changer. It also, I thought it would do more than it does, so I did think that I'd be able to press for speed, and then it would just ping the fastest item I've got currently to the top.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought there would be more things to it, but still, it absolutely has like massively sped up how quickly I can gear champions for content.
Yeah.
And also, what's been great for me, because I've got tons of champions, you know, I'm always kind of doing different builds and like trying to get different types of content out. Sometimes I just forget where stuff is.
Right.
And I was looking for a piece for a clan boss build I did the other day for like a new leech type team, which I think we'll chat about later. But basically Foley was wearing a load of good gear that I didn't know about, so I was able to like recoup some really nice items because of this item filter. So it's got a purpose and it's doing things for us. But I think there's probably still almost like a item filter 1.2 that should follow it.
Yeah. It's great for what it does. I think it was just my own interpretation. I just wanted something different. Building characters, I kind of enjoyed going through and looking for those things. It just wasn't what I was personally looking for, but it is very great at building characters. You're right, you do find those items which you haven't found for a long time. But I find it very hard to identify a good and a bad item. And so I was just hoping for an assistant tool to that, really. But I mean, OpticalX, how have you found the item filtering system this week?
I hate it.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
That's strong words.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it, especially when I'm trying to build somebody with like crit damage gloves.
Right.
And then I need all that crit rate and like the shoes and everything else. I think it's one of the best things, one of the best updates I've been a part of, at least as long as I've been playing. And like you said, if you try to help somebody else's account as well, you know, people do like account takeovers, like makes it 10 times faster, 10 times easier. And then like Hell Hades said, I think one of the huge things that they could have not done is tell you what other champions have on them as well, or the equipped option. They could have I feel like they could have easily left that out if they really wanted to, because it's already like, you know, a system and it's something that we wanted. But the fact that they included, okay, this person has this piece and blah blah blah, I think that was huge.
Cold Brew, anything to add, buddy? How have you been finding it, man? You built any characters using this?
Yeah, I've built quite a few. I've also done like an account tune-up through that, and I find it really useful in finding the gear, especially on characters that have something equipped.
Yeah.
And I've also found a way to filter out bad gear through it. So I just like put in the filter what stats I don't want in an item, so it finds those items, then I sell them. So yeah, I use it that way.
Okay, so obviously like the flat stats, accuracy and resistance maybe sometimes.
Yeah, that's how I use it to filter out gear that I don't need, and then I sell that basically.
Ooh, I'm interested. Okay, I might have to play around with that and just sell a load of stuff, because I've been doing a lot of Dragon, and I'm literally making life and death decisions each time I get a gear piece now. So yeah, I might have to just get rid of some stuff.
And that's definitely like an advantage if you're trying to just cleanse your account out and you've not done it for a while. Yeah. Like Cold Brew says, if you just filter on flat HP, flat defense for a chest, for example, then you can instantly just jump to maybe 6 or 7 items that probably just shouldn't be in your account at all.
Right.
So that I found that side really useful as well. I was kind of doing a demo on a video, and I didn't expect to find any because I'm pretty hot on that sort of stuff. But obviously, when I've done a run sometime and I've not checked my gear properly, I had about 10 items just to sell off, and I was like, great, because I need the space. So yeah, there's definitely sort of, once you get into it, once you start using it a bit, you can definitely find more uses for it. Okay. I didn't find it was that intuitive, and I didn't find it was that much of a. You almost feel like it needs a little tutorial.
Right.
Yeah.
All
right. Yeah, it definitely needs some sort of tutorial for understanding how to use it.
Yeah. I mean, once you get used to it, it's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. But I tried to do like a first view in a video. To be fair, I looked like I was about 70 years old. I had no idea about technology because I was full using it. But I thought I'd rather do it that way, because that's probably how most people experience it. You know, not after you used it for a couple of hours, you know exactly what you're doing. Yeah. Most people experience it in like, right, how do I find the people that's got stuff? And you know, it just wasn't that clear to me. But anyway, maybe that's just me.
So every now and then, the development team, they bring out new adverts in game, like the new video in the news, don't they? Like tutorials, new music video, whatever. They mention like gearing and stuff. Maybe they could do a literal tutorial on their YouTube for the item filtering. I think that would be a very good idea, like you mentioned. And that wouldn't take them much. So that would be like a 5-minute video, and that would be it. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Lots of new players would probably enjoy that as well. Even medium game, you know, there's just lots to break down on how to use the item filtering, and maybe if people understood it a bit more, like myself, maybe we could just use it more efficiently. That'd be great. Okay, so one of the things that also changed in 1.14 was the leech mechanic, right? So what's changed about it? And what has made it like so sort of game changing this week? Because I've been getting wrecked by Foleys this week, let me tell you. Damn. Anyone want to chip in?
I mean,
It was
it
changed to 18%, right? It went to 18% or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it went to 18%.
I'm not super familiar with leech. That's never been a debuff I've ever been concerned with. So
okay,
I don't know I don't know how I would use it. I know I pulled the epic. What's his name? The Banner Lord. Yes, Seneschal.
Yeah.
I pulled him. And he has, leech on his A1, which I was like, okay, leech has changed, but I'm still like trying to figure out how I can best use it.
Okay, Cold Brew, jump on in, buddy. Save us. What is happening with leech?
So basically, leech used to be 10%.
Okay.
Provides when you attack a character that has a leech debuff, you got 10% back basically. So what I understood, they did it 8% up, so 18% now. Every time you attack a target with a leech debuff. So this is another reason why Mashal got like a boost, plus the other stuff. So now lots of content creators that have leech teams, leech characters, are actually starting to do like leech setups for the clan boss. I know Hades did a really good one. He did like over 40 million, I think, on Ultra. So
yeah, I hit a 54 million.
Whoa!
Wow!
Key,
nice.
Which is the best key I've ever hit using leech.
Who was
were
that
your
team?
characters?
So I had Marta, I had Mashald as my leech champion, I had Warlord, Draco. Who's my fifth? I had someone else in there just for damage, I think. Let me just pull up the screeny. 2 secs.
That's all right. But that's a crazy team, though. If Marshall is getting in there and doing that much damage on Clan Boss, mate, what a change that has been.
Yeah,
for that character.
I've got the screen up here. So
Lanakis.
Yeah, Lanakis did 6 million. Draco did 26 million.
Wow.
Warlord did 5.5. Michelle did 7.8,
Yeah.
and Marta did 8 million. So the thing with it is, basically, the leech can replace your lifesteal set if you've got a team that's hitting hard enough or consistently getting their like War Master or Giant Slayer procs.
Yeah.
And it does that in the same way that lifesteal gear does, but not just not quite as effective as lifesteal gear.
Okay.
But if you can imagine, if you change all of your lifesteal gear, which is holding back your stats for leech for regular gear,
And then get additional
actually you just
stats.
start hitting harder anyway. So my damage per turn, now we've got this new kind of turn meter count and damage count going on. My damage per turn was huge. I did 54 million in about 33 turns, whereas my previous team, I was last in the same sort of amount of time, but it was more like 35 million in 33 turns. So I'd massively ramped up all of my crit damage, all of that type of stuff, my speed, and was able to put out a lot more damage just because I didn't have to confine myself to lifesteal.
Yep.
So I think it's got really good opportunity. There's also much bigger swings. So I ran an auto run with the same team, exactly the same setup, and I think I did 40 million, just over 40. So already there you've got like a 14 million swing.
Ooh.
And that's with high-end gear. So it's definitely not it's not going to be the savior to everybody in the game, but it's definitely something to explore.
It's a new option. So instead of just everyone going lifesteal or counter or whatever, there's another option now for you to go down, another avenue for people to say, oh, if I do have these characters, that could work for me,
Well, I did a mini review earlier today on Leech champions now in the game.
Okay.
I actually just put it up on my YouTube this morning, but there's an uncommon who actually looks quite interesting, and there's Corpse Collector, which is an epic, Seneschal, which is an epic. They both look quite interesting.
Yep.
And there is then there's a couple of legendaries which are going to be very good. So Mashold and Yannicka, I think, is going to be very good for this, and Foley could be very good as well.
Mate, that's music to my ears because Foley was like the first fusion I ever done, and I fully booked him because he was only the second legend I have. And mate, he's I've literally been getting wrecked by Foleys in arena all week. So I want my Foley to be like that, really. Good stuff. So is there anything else with the one? Okay, Clan Boss. So yeah, we've had a bit of a dodgy, but Clan Boss is fixed now, right? We're happy with Clan Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough couple of fights before the fix. I was getting like 9 millions on my keys, and I was like, "What's happening?" Yeah.
Literally first key of the update, because I've got Valkyrie and Martyr, but the shield was just stacking, and the health was going down. The animation was freezing. I had characters instantly dying, like in between the freezes. It was very weird, but they were on it. People sort of mentioned it in the moderating system very early on, and it was 3 days for a hotfix, which is pretty good, I think, in player terms. I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good they fixed it quite fast instead of waiting another week or so.
Right.
Because it was just a waste.
And I kind of like seriously feel like Plarium have turned the corner in the last month or so, and they're reacting much quicker. They're sharing more information early with us. No, they don't get it right 100% of the time, but it feels like a lot of the stuff they're doing now is more positive and more kind of player focused.
Yep.
For me,
I agree.
Yeah, they definitely have stepped up their game.
It's even their wording as well. Like before Christmas, we were challenging their wording. It was almost very strange what they were saying physically to everyone. Like, it was very. You needed to decipher kind of what they were saying sometimes. But literally, everything has been really crystal clear of late. We've had a quality of life update, which in general has been really useful. We might as well kind of go into it now. We've got slight mentions of 1.15. And that is just going to be another quality of life update, but with additional features. But the big takeaway for me for 1.15 is the clan boss is getting fixed, quote unquote, right? So we're getting the clan boss that is going to become unkillable. Okay, so I've got 3 clans, chat. Each and every single one of them, we can't hire the max amount of people because we don't have the damage for them to be taking, and each and every single day for over a year we've had clan members literally fighting over each other for damage. Right now the damage counter coming in has helped, and I have put the clan members on a restriction for the top chest so more people can get it, so that has helped. But now we're going to get it unkillable, so as the way I understand it, they can pump in as much damage as they want, and everyone can get top chest if they want it, right?
Yeah. Sounds that way, yeah, definitely. Which is cool. It's what we wanted, yeah?
So,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Now, is there going to be any caveats, i.e., are we going to have the people in American time zones just waking up to Affinity each time? Is Void just going to get taken out in the first 10 minutes still? Like...
That would probably be the one issue with it.
It's always an issue anyway, because like we have in my clan, we have like an issue with players who can do like 65 million in 2 keys, and they do it on Void, and then the other guys who wake up later on and find the boss, they can do like 1 key maybe on Void, and then if they're lucky, and then they'll have to face the Affinity, which might be challenging to players with not a big roster enough to kill it. So we try to ask the players to do like, if you can do huge amount of damage, you can 2 key it. Try and do 1 on Void and 1 on Affinity, but they don't always listen. So
that is tough. You can only say something so many times. But yeah, hopefully I've kind of put it into our clan chat just to try and stick towards the damage cap and that. But I mean but this news that fixing the clan boss in 1.15 is music to my ears, because when we got the leak of the second clan boss, the Hydra, I was like, please don't bring that out when the clan boss is in this state. Like Chosen has been like saying it since day one. Also, like the clan boss needed to be sorted and had issues that we needed to sort of figure out before we add in any more content. But it sounds like over the last couple of patches and updates, they're literally taking that to heart. They are literally trying to add quality of life into the game, to fix the issues that they've had before they add any content, you know, because we all know they need content, but they are literally making the game better with each update right now, you know.
It does feel like to me that they fixed something in the back end which has enabled them to now change the game.
Okay.
I think there's been something fundamentally broken in the back end that they've had to rebuild before they could fundamentally start to change things.
Okay.
And it feels like that has been improved. Whatever it was has been almost rebuilt ground up, so that they can now come in and get this to happen. So I actually believe, and I might just be a bit naive here, but I believe we'll start to see the game moving forward on regular intervals following this stuff.
I agree, because we all expected like compensation from this patch, right? People were, at least when I would talk to people, they're like, all right, here we go, 114, but how many times are they gonna have to refresh the server, you know, and blah blah blah. But it seemed to go through a lot smoother than other updates in the past, so I agree with that.
You've had a rough 3 or 4 months, though, in terms of your raid experience, man. You are the newest of the players here, and honestly, like, after Christmas was real tough for the community. Like,
for sure.
From Tormin onwards for the next 3 or 4 months was pretty tough. So you've kind of, this is probably like the first glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel that you've seen since you started playing, honestly. But yeah, very positive thoughts, and I think they are going. I think Hades is spot on. I think they have fundamentally fixed something that might have taken 6-7 months to be getting to this point, and they finally managed to implement it. And I think they're just going to be reaping the rewards. Their communication has been thick and solid. There are smiles on people's faces. Like Cirilla and Valk are very happy in the mods training chat as well. They're always being sociable and laughing. And I think Valkyrie didn't get a Valkyrie, or she did get a Valkyrie. I'm not sure, but yeah, she really wanted a Valkyrie, and so it's been really cool to see them. Smart, because it was tough, right? They had a really tough couple of weeks, like with the whole faction wars, and
there's a dumpster fire.
Oh mate, I mean, they are smiling again, and that's the most important thing, honestly. There are smiles on people's faces, and there's progression being made, and quality of life is being added to the game before the content is being released, and I am all for that. So that is amazing. I am all for that. Okay, so I wanna kind of go through fusions here. Okay, now we have got a whole history of fusions. I kind of want to go through them from start to finish. I don't think many of you are playing for St. Nick, but I was playing for St. Nick, but I had no clue, obviously, about the whole fusion tab and the shards. When I first playing, I was just so happy playing the dungeons and campaign and seeing the shards. I was like, great. I never looked across to the side and saw a fusion tab. And I missed out on St. Nick by like 3 days or whatever, something like that. And that's always a feels bad man moment, and I'm always going to regret not getting St. Nick. And he was really easy as well. Okay, but there was like, I don't know, 10,000 people playing a game, maybe 100,000 people playing the game at the time. So there was next to no one really playing compared to today. But that really started off a trend. Like, that really got people excited within the game because St. Nick is a very, very awesome champion.
Yeah.
Here he's right here. Do any of you actually have Sir Nick?
No.
Nope.
No, I really, they did the times, was it times 10 on St. Nick? I think it was, yeah. Times 10 recently, and I was like, I'm going for this. I just didn't get it. I got an ethos, so I got a good pull, but I didn't get myself a St. Nick.
I got an ethos 3 weeks ago, Hades, mate. He's literally changed my speed runs on everything.
Really?
He's in all the dungeons. He's ripping it, mate. He's great.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to be my next one to kind of work on, and then I pulled Valk last night, and literally she is leveled. we're gonna build her on stream
instantly.
Tonight. Yeah, she is just too good to not just throw straight into the mixer. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sir Nick was absolutely amazing, and he's super rare. And if you do have a Sir Nick chat, don't talk to me. I don't want to know. Okay, it's not. I sincerely I sincerely regret not getting this guy, or not even. I mean, I was playing in November, December of 2018, so I should have just looked in the bloody portal and just had a look at. But I was too busy leveling up my Gallic. Oh. Jeez.
Gala.
So the first fusion that I took part in was Foley. Did any of you guys take part in the Foley?
I tried to.
You tried
to. I got stuck where everyone else got stuck with the summoning event.
I wasn't born yet.
I did get Foley, but I was lucky. I can't remember what the champion was, but I pulled the champion you needed. That was the kind of the paywall for Foley.
Okay.
Centurion.
Was it Centurion? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I pulled that champion when I was doing just like a regular shard pull, so I didn't get stuck with this kind of paywall of being able to get him. So I actually ended up getting him quite quickly. However, I have never used him to any like decent degree as at this point. So I'm hoping this leech makes him usable because he might get a bit of a dance. At the moment, he literally just sits there looking pretty in the vault.
His A3, mate. That block revive. Something's happened with his multipliers over the last 3 weeks or something, because that A3 is literally ripping my teams apart in arena with whoever has him. I can't remember what it is. But so the A3 on my Blood Gorge is a block revive, but that's single target. This is attacks all enemies and decreases their turn meter by 15%. And mate, that is hitting so hard. The Bio Disruptor got buffed about a few months ago now. So that used to attack, I think, just three random enemies. Now it attacks 4 times at random. So yeah, he has been like really buffed up, and is obviously 4 hit on his A1. So I've been using him in Ice Golem for the block revive along with Rotos. But I have come across so many Foleys in arena that have just been shredding me. Mate, I would have a little look at Foley, mate, especially with his leech.
I feel like his damage multipliers are like horrendous, like horrendously bad. But maybe I'm just not gearing him right. I'd love to see if anyone in chat can fire a note to SaffronMan. If anyone's got one that is doing some serious damage either in the arena or clan boss, I'd love to see a screen image of it and a breakdown of what that gear looks like, because I can't get him to work yet, and I'm sure he does work. I haven't found the way to build him.
So yeah, we'll highlight that in the chat. We'll see if we can find. My stats aren't even crazy either, but I mean, geez, yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find someone with a Foley as well, because I want mine kicking ass like his. Because that was, yeah, he's really hitting hard, and I could really use that in the Ice Golem. That'd be fantastic.
That's a cool looking champion as well. He's the last one you want, just sitting there in the vault. I think he's one of the best, like, aesthetically looking champs in the game.
Yeah, he looks very
awesome.
sleek. Yeah.
Kind of looks like the ninja / samurai thing, like faction that we've kind of been teased,
Yeah.
If we ever get that. Anytime soon, yeah.
Well, that was just like an unofficial leak from an advert, right? So no official word has even come out yet. So we're probably 3 months away from any official word. That's if there's no delays or anything. Yeah, I think that's a while. Yeah, maybe Halloween, something like that. We might get ninjas or something. We'll see. Okay, so you didn't quite get Foley, Cold Brew. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Yeah, I didn't quite get him. I was missing just one champion. That was it. And I think I was gonna quit the game. I said, okay, I'm gonna open all my shards and see. And I think I got Juliana, and that was my best champion at the time. And then using Juliana was really helpful in the clan boss. So I
almost quit it last night.
Why?
After those pulls.
Oh man.
I did my voids and my sacreds like you too.
Yeah. You just got nothing either.
I was tilted.
I got tilted and spent another 2,700 gems I really shouldn't have, and I still got nothing. So I had chat laughing at me for about an hour. I was raging. I needed a 5-minute walk away and just calm down, and then that was bad last night.
I've done that so many times though, where you don't get the pull and the double. So you're like, well, I might as well open my sacreds and my voids then, because that's going to help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just spent more and felt worse and worse, but hey ho, it is what it is. Okay, so this is the next character which I actually missed out on the fusion, but I got him in a shard a few months later, was Shamrock. So Shamrock, when he was announced, was for St. Patrick's Day 2019, and let's say he was underwhelming. not many people wanted to sort of farm Shamrock because Foley was such a big grind. Shamrock was quite soon after, and he didn't seem all that great. Now, 10 months later on, he's been buffed, and he's actually got some really good utility and some uses now.
Wasn't Shamrock before?
Yeah, I think they must have been the other way around because I wasn't here when Shamrock was a.
Yeah.
Well, have I got them the wrong way around? Oh, professionalism there. Okay, so I've got them the wrong way around. Okay. Okay, well, let's stick on to Shamrock then. But yeah, he was underwhelming when he came out, though, right?
Yeah, not until that recent buff that he's really had a use, is it?
Right. I think Darth Microtransaction, he actually fully booked one like 2 months prior. Just because like his chat like thinks that he looks alike or whatever, I don't know, but yeah, he booked one up just for fun, and yeah, and then 2 months later they buffed him up and he found some really good uses for him, you know. So I think I've got mine in Faction Wars. I've got a Faction Wars team brewing right now of 1 Shamrock and 4 Bellowers. So 4 Bellowers. So yeah, I'm going to gear up the Bellowers in something crazy, and I'm going to have the Shamrock, and so hopefully they're just going to be stunned and doing damage like consistently. So that is my kind of plan for the Ogre Tribes and Faction Wars. I think the accuracy leader buff for Shamrock as well, was it 70? Yeah, all battles in 70. That's just going to be perfect for the Bellowers, really, for Faction Wars. So yeah, he's going to be my Faction Wars leader.
He's also good in things like Seer runs, or if you've got someone like Turvold, anyone who needs like a lot of buffs to really activate what they do.
Yeah,
I think he stands out in. So yeah,
like
he's pretty decent.
Seer.
Yeah, Seer can just rip all of those buffs off your team and do
what a character Seer
damage.
is. Can we just talk about Seer a second? Like,
I would love to play.
Oh man, I've been wanting Seer since forever, and I still don't have it.
Oh,
Mate,
you have her, Saffron. Nice.
yes, I do. That's why we're going to talk about it. She's been geared several times, man. She's nothing special, but my God, there's not one character like her. So what Seer does, she literally removes all buffs from both your team and the opposition, okay? And she does damage according to how many buffs has been ripped. So, gosh, there are so many buffs in the game, and when you get her fully burked in, you get her speed right, and as long as you can protect her from getting provoked and stuff, mate, she cleans house, and she's great for waves in dungeons. She's great for bosses as well, unkillables, buff removals. Like, mate, she is just amazing, right? Really, really great champ.
Definitely, yeah.
So fun as well. Like, it's just a different type of composition to use her. I actually I built mine when she was a bit busted. There was a time, I don't know if you guys remember, where she could one-shot the spider.
Yeah, for the spider. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was so much
That's
fun.
awesome.
I was doing over 6 million damage with my Seer to the main spider in one hit.
Wow.
Which is so cool. Yeah, so that's when I built mine up, and then after that they nerfed it, and I thought, oh, she's back in the vault again. But actually, she is still super cool, really cool champ.
Yeah, there's just no one else like her, really. I mean, yeah, she's basically a legend in my. She's very unique, epic, and yeah, she's a badass. More characters with mechanics like that, please. Just very well thought out character, and she works well in many teams.
Especially with the current like arena meta, where pretty much everyone is running high number of buffs, aren't they? Like arena defenses are just stacked with buffs.
Yep.
So Seer can go in, a bit like Madame Cerise, but in a more offensive way.
Yep.
And she rips those buffs off, and she does a shed ton of damage at the same time.
And she gives your whole like team crit damage beforehand, so your whole team gets a turn of crit damage before she rips that buff off, and yeah, it's damage upon damage in a defensive way, and it's a fantastic character. And yeah, aesthetically looks great as well. A great orc. I don't see many good orcs. That's pretty cool. Most of those orcs are like ugly bastards. Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
think
got
War Mother looks the best.
I bet you do. But that's because it's morning for you, mate. Honestly, wake
Right
up
up
in a few
my
hours.
alley.
Yeah. Okay, so I got Foley and Shamrock wrong. Let's hope I didn't get anyone else in the wrong order. So after Foley was Morley, then, right? if I'm not mistaken. So we had Morley.
I think so, yeah.
And I fused Morley, and then I managed to go ahead and get myself another one in a Sacred. So I've got 2 Morleys in my Faction Wars team. I even had 2 Morleys with a Torment in my Arena team for quite a while. That was interesting. I put them all in like as tough as you can gear, and basically it was a deterrent. I literally won by people leaving.
Nice.
It was great, and that was a great little team to build. So 2 Morleys and a Torment are working great. What are your all thoughts in Morley? Did you all get that fusion done?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, and actually, it's proven to be really fun camp, I'd say.
A hot sausage on a fork. I mean,
yeah.
The wiener whacker.
The wiener whacker. That's what I like. I mean, aesthetically, it looks great. I love the shield, right? I think that green thing that you see there is literally the same green stuff you see on the tournament emblem. So I don't know what that green thing actually is aesthetically, but it's in her shield. I think she looks great. When she first came out, I think she took a lot of understanding to kind of figure out how to use her best, but a year on pretty much, and yeah, I think a lot of people know how to use her, and if you've got a couple, that can be a deadly combination. What are your thoughts, guys?
I reckon she might end up being probably a bit better, but a bit similar to this Skull Lord we've got right now. So she's come out. Any champion that does not hit really hard, the community hates. Yeah. So as soon as you've got a champion like a Morley that doesn't hit very hard, the community's like, "What is this fusion? I've wasted all my time." Blah blah blah. And it's actually she's so far beyond what her damage is. She is the protector for all of your damage. She can resurrect your damage dealers. So there's so many different pieces to her kit that people just completely saw past because they just want people that hit hard. So I think actually she was a decent fusion and a good champion in the game. I think she's good. I had her in my defensive arena team for a long time, and I also used her for my Spider 20, basically the shield of my damage dealers. So slightly different type of build, high resistance, high accuracy, high defense, but slow, and just basically let her tank up all the spiderlings.
Right.
And that was kind of the first way I ever beat Spider 20, was using Morley as my tank.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, so she's got utility basically. She's got utility, and I personally think good champ, and I thought that from the off, but it doesn't fit everyone's bill because people just want champs that hit hard. So
many people judge fusions or want to be judging the fusions within the first hour, the first day, the first couple of days. Like the amount of people that come on my channel this week, oh, is Skull Lord any good? Like, what do you think? Is he worth the fusion and stuff? Like, I always say, like, you need to kind of wait. It's a 3-week thing, right? Go casual. If you're unsure, go casual for the first week. Take in the information that the YouTube creators are saying and just make a decision for yourself after that first week. Is it feasible for your account to be getting such a character? Is it going to be worth it for you? There is kind of no rush to get him, but I mean, Morley, but like you say, because she didn't hit hard like a truck, like a Royal Guard, people were kind of, that's not what I'm looking for. But really, her utility is amazing, and I wouldn't get half as far as what I would in the Faction Wars if I didn't have 2 of them. They're really great. So Cold Brew, any experience with Morley, sir?
Yeah, definitely. I used her with my speed booster. I had a speed booster, then I used Morley to be very close to the speed of the speed booster in arena. So she would basically provoke everyone else. And then I had a Ghostborn, I think, to apply, the debuffs. And then just the nuker, and it was very easy for me to farm any team, basically, both 4 at the time. And I also used her, I think, in all the dungeons to reach dungeons 20. I had trouble in reaching them at the time. I didn't have any legendaries or anything. So, I used her to reach dungeon 20 for all dungeons except Spider.
Right.
Because Spider, I used, the Paragon team.
Yep.
The cheese ball.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm trying to build so many crazy teams of Paragon. So I've got one Paragon at 30, I've got another Paragon at 60. They've all got like 250, 260 speed. I'm literally creating crazy nightmare teams. So if I get them tuned up right, and I manually put their let me just grab Paragon real sec, and if I put the A2 on each other and then hit auto with Rotos in the middle, Rotos does all the damage, and the Paragons literally juggle the unkillable. And if they're fast enough, it'll literally go all the way through. And I think my fastest time on Nightmare 12-7 was like 1 minute 10 seconds or something, when that worked right. And just to see them juggling that unkillable is so fun. They're literally one hit from death, and then they get the unkillable on each other, and Rotos is just hammering away with his extra turns. Really fun team. It's not practical at all. I can't farm with it or anything like that, but when it works, it is one of the most fun teams I've come up with. So Paragon is an OP character, by the way. I even tried like 2 Paragons and an Arbiter kind of in arena. That didn't go down so well because of the resistance. I can't kind of get like 250, 260 speed and get like 300 resistance at the same time, really. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, Paragons is a very fun character. Have you guys tried out Paragon?
I haven't.
You haven't? So have you not done Nightmare Campaign yet, Optical?
I have.
You have? So who did you do Nightmare Campaign with?
Siffy and Rotos.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Really?
Okay. Did you find any any difficulties there, mate?
Yeah.
So how did you get Siffy and Rotos? Talk to me about that.
I fused Rotos, and then there was I think in the Rotos fusion there was a champion event, like a champion summoning event.
Right.
So I was just like, I gotta get this champion for the fusion. So I had 3 void shards, and I was like, all right, let's just pull these.
Nice.
Yeah, she was the second one, and then I got a light sworn on the 3rd one. I was like, dang boy, let's go.
Oh my gosh, I'm uber jealous. 3 voids and a Siffy.
I firmly believe she got me to 20 in all my dungeons.
I 100% agree with that. Absolutely.
Just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
And Nightmare Campaign as well without Paragon. So Paragon is basically the go-to for trying to clear Nightmare Campaign, for those that don't know. You basically get a really tough damage dealer, and you just get a Paragon that's super fast. You don't need to get a Paragon to 60. You can just get him to 30 and just book him up, and he's great as well. But yeah, Cold Brew, any experience with Paragon, mate? Because he's super fun if you can work some things out with him. It's great.
Yeah, I've basically made like 10 videos with Paragon, using him differently in every single way. Like Paragon with armor gears, Paragon with other, no cold hearts by the 20 all rares.
Yeah.
I've done Paragon in Nightmare Campaign video with Razin, so Paragon and Razin. So yeah, I've been using him quite a lot. And he can also be used just as a troll team in arena. If you have him very fast enough, you can put him in defense. So, and he's just annoying. So
I've tried to do that, but my resistance has never been good enough. Like they just get a resistance or a buff removal. I need him like super high resistance. So that's why I tried 2 with an Arbiter, but it didn't quite work out that way either.
You can use it in low gold 4. It won't work higher. Because Razin, debuff, buff removers, so it's just like a troll defense team.
That troll defense team as well has been around since day one, man. Ever since I could grow up, there was just one Paragon. Some guy had a Paragon in the defense team, which you could never get rid of. But that was going up from like bronze, silver, and then gold, and then you don't see him as much nowadays. But yeah, back in the day. You didn't want to face this guy. He's the torment of his day, pretty much.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, so Morley was a very good champion overall. I think having multiple of them, that Cheers revival is just so OP. So I'm very happy with Morley in the long run. I believe the next one, unless we've missed another one out, was Harvest Jack. So Halloween, right? So we've mentioned before, like character skins, like having a snowman version of Jack in the skin would be great. I think that'd be a really cool skin to have. I think skins in general will be really great. But I mean, this guy took up a lot of resources from a lot of the community before the next fusion. So everyone was really looking forward to the next fusion. We had Morley, and there was a little bit of time. Then we had Harvest Jack, and kind of like Morley, he was kind of underestimated because he wasn't doing a whole lot of damage. What are your thoughts on Harvest Jack from the off, Mr. Hades? Did you go for him yourself?
Yeah, sorry, my dog's barking about there.
That's right.
I thought he was pretty lackluster when I first got him, but in a similar way to Morley, I guess. He didn't hit like a Sir Nick. Everyone wanted him to hit really hard.
Yeah.
But then again, once you actually fully understand his kit, I use him now all the time.
Yeah.
He's in my Faction War 21 team. He's in my Arena offense and defense team. That true fear and decreased speed that he can apply AoE and just get the job done for you is insane. He's such a good champion. You just got to stack his accuracy up, get his speed to a good level, and basically watch him go. He can do damage as well, not like high level damage though, so I don't really use him as a damage dealer. I use him just as a pure, CC annoying champ basically.
So yeah, I managed to get my Harvest Jack to 100,000 health, 212 speed, and 326 accuracy, purely for Faction Wars, and mate, he's just owning right there. I should use him in other areas, but mate, he is so underrated, and if you're looking for crowd control, there's not many better, honestly. Mate,
yeah, just to find that fear. So he's got fear on his A1, he's got the AoE fear, which is insane. Plus he's got AoE decreased speed.
Yeah.
He puts block buffs out there as well. He steals buffs. There's just so much to his kit. It's mental.
Is there like an invert character like Seer? Is there like a debuff like kind of removal and does damage on debuffs and stuff? Because that would be pretty cool for Harvest Jack. Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, I don't think there is one, but that would be quite a cool design to bring in.
Yeah.
OpticalX, do you have Harvest Jack, sir?
I do not. My first fusion was Rotos.
Your first fusion Rotos. So
yeah, that was my first fusion.
Have you come across this guy in the game anywhere? Have you struggled against him at any time? He's annoying. Mate, he's just built like a brick, and he can just add so much confusion to the team. Like so many debuffs.
I love his necklace, though.
His necklace.
Funny, yeah.
Oh,
it's all the starter camps.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I'm too busy looking at that
very
site.
aesthetic champion.
Yeah, so we got. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. That's pretty. Yeah, and aesthetically looks great as well, though, right?
Yeah.
Very good looking champ.
I think all of those same 4 champs that came out at the same time for Halloween.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job on all of those champs.
Yeah.
Like design wise, relevance in the game, and like aesthetic. Everything about them I thought was really well done.
There's a use for all 4 of them. Yeah. There's a use for all 4.
Right. Yeah. They're not Vault Guardians at all. They have a practical use, each and every single one of them, really. So you just need to understand them a little bit. I mean, no matter the legend, it's going to take you time to understand that character, right? I mean, I had Blood Gorge as my first legend. Mate, it took me a long time for me, A, to book him, B, to actually get gear that suits him best to make him work, and 3, another 10 months for him to actually buff him up. It takes time to get a character, especially a legend, to where you want to be through understanding of the gear and everything else. I think some people just need to not judge them so quick and actually just take a backseat and actually, okay, where is this character meant to be used? Where is he going to be useful? Other than just Faction Wars, but this guy can be in Dungeons, Arena, this guy can do whatever you like. I mean, I think I even used him in Campaign at some point. Him and Valkyrie in Campaign, you ain't getting past him. It's a deadly combination. But yeah, I mean, I think it was another very good fusion. Cold Brew, you use Harvest Jack much at all, mate?
I don't really use him except for Faction Wars.
Yep.
Because I haven't built him up fully yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I do have 2 of them. I have one from the fusion and one from a shard.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got 2 of them.
So
just in case.
having like 4 bellowers is fine, but I think 2 Harvest Jacks is just OP. That is, you ain't going to get past them. If one of them fails, the other one is going to do something. You've pretty much owned Faction Wars. You should be pretty close to the end of Faction Wars now with that nerf, though, right? With 2 Harvest Jacks.
Yeah. The change in the Faction Wars, the recent change it's basically made Faction Wars so much easier for almost all of my teams. Yeah.
But not too easy. Let's not get carried.
Yeah,
not too,
21 is
just
21
right.
Is still,
yeah.
The boss hits very hard still.
I don't want them to sort of nerf it. I'm happy with where it is. So yeah, it's easier for sure.
Definitely still a challenge. It's definitely still a challenge to beat those last few levels.
So last night I got on the high elves. I got to stage 20, and I've tried stage 21 before, and I've never got past wave 2. And last night we just flew through it, and we're farming it now. So I was very happy with that. That was
nice.
Great.
What a mate. Nice.
Yeah, just to get another legend book. I think that finished Rotos' book as well. But yeah, so that was good fun. So that is literally my first completed faction. So I was very hyped for that. But yeah, it's a really good touch for the faction wars so far. And yeah, Harvest Jack was it's going to be really helpful in faction wars now, I think. And if you've got 2 of them, Brew, mate, that's crowd control at its finest, really.
Yeah.
But that took up a lot of resources, okay, and a lot of the community were like, okay, what's going to be next? And what came next was probably the toughest fusion we've ever had, in terms of resources, the time limit, the events, the tournaments. It was all kind of kicked up a notch, and that was Brackus, right? The werewolf fusion. Now, all of the characters needed were pretty much brand new characters as well, which made it even tougher. And this was the second and only fusion which I've passed up on and said, no, that's not for me. Hell Hades, man, what was your thoughts on Brackus?
Yeah, it was pretty over the top insane. I did fuse him, and I'm just trying to remember how I fused him. So I don't think I went the long way. I think I might have got lucky again. I don't know. I might have had one of the epics already or something, or I pulled one of the epics, which was the tough one to. This is it. There was one where you needed like 30,000 points for champion training.
Right.
And I pulled that epic when I was going for a shard pull for one of the others. I can't remember exactly how it went, but I did get him. If I'm honest, I've not used him a huge amount, but I should do because I know he's a great champion.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't got around to gearing him up properly and putting him where he needs to be really. But yeah, I think they pushed a step too far with the paywall on that one. Like they just got people's backs up and at a bad time in the game as well.
That was part of the wording issue because they literally mentioned hardcore challenge. Like they literally knew it was going to be tough and mentioned it, and they were kind of proud that it was going to be tough at the same time. And I think it was like people were like no.
Why was it so tough? Like what was?
All the recipe were brand new champions which had been out like a week and no one had got. The event points was up from like 20 to 30,000. The time was shorter. It wasn't like 3 weeks like the others have been or whatever.
Right.
And it just costs a lot of resources, more so than the rest really. But they advertised it as such. They said it was like a limited edition sort of hardcore event challenge. And that just wasn't for me. But if they didn't do that, I wouldn't have saved up my shards till Christmas, and I probably wouldn't have got Tormin, which is the next one. But honestly, I love fusions. I think that was just a step too far, though. The people that have got Brackus are absolutely loving him in Finite, in Arena, in Faction Wars. That 6 hit. Oh mate, that just wrecks me.
It's crazy.
Versus Rotos team.
Right.
Yeah, he wrecks my Rotos.
Oh mate.
But what's your view then? So is your view for a fusion that it should be available for everyone to get that champion? And that's one question. And I guess the second question is, and do you also think that they should be absolute god tier champions?
No, I think they need to be fun. I think Brackus himself as a character, the price aside, is a very fun character, and I would have loved to fuse him. I literally fused Rotos because he sounded fun. Shamrock didn't sound fun, so I didn't. Kind of Foley was kind of a necessity for me. Harvest Jack was fun and offered something different. But yeah, it was just too much too soon after Harvest Jack. And on the budget that I was at the time, it was nigh on impossible. And I've been speaking with Julian on my Discord as well, and I noticed like so many glaring things which I'd done wrong with my account, and that was going to take time to fix, and it ended up taking like 3 months to fix. And Baracus just wasn't on that agenda really, down to the price. So the price put me off. I would love to have him, but yeah, I think so. To your question, I think as long as they offer something different that we haven't seen before, and I think they should be like a carrot on the end of the stick. Like they should be obviously in sight and should be semi kind of reachable for most players, but not brand new players. I don't think brand new players. I don't think that's what fusions are for. Brand new players, they should use it as a learning experience. And maybe if you join into the game like 3 weeks in and there's a fusion going on, you might want to miss out on that one. But for the next one, you're going to know a little bit more. But by the third fusion, you'll be like, right, I'm getting this one. So yeah, I think as long as they offer something different.
I might have a slightly unpopular view on this, but I feel like the fusion champions are generally being pretty strong, especially the more recent ones.
Right.
And I feel like they are possible for most. Although a lot of people moan about it, they are very possible for people that play the game.
Yeah.
And what that means is the meta swings in a way that everyone's got kind of god tier champion.
Yeah.
And therefore the game becomes more plain because everyone's using the same god tier. Now, for me, I feel like it should be the champions that fuse into this god tier should be definitely achievable for anyone that plays the game, and those epics should be decent level of champion.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like everybody should have this god-given right to fuse all of these top tier legendaries just because they want to. I just don't.
No, I'm with you there.
That's not right.
Each fusion is an investment. Let's not get it right. I mean, there are free-to-play players which save up for months and months, and they literally pick which fusion they want to go for because they can't go for each and every single one. And so for free-to-players, they do have to make that decision, and it isn't open. I mean, I've had to invest into each and every single fusion I've had so far, personally. It isn't available for everyone if you're free to play. And that small investment, no matter how big or small, is the investment which players are looking for, right? So for free-to-play players, they can make a decision either yes or no, which is why I say wait a week and then make a decision. But really, I don't know. You do have to invest in it, though. Really, you know?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But so some people come to me and what they actually say to me, "Oh, I don't think I can do this one."
Yeah.
And I remember the one, I think it must have been the Rotus fusion, where Sepulchre was one of the
epics.
champs that fused into Rotus, yeah?
She's
and I was
so
like,
good
well,
too.
This champion's amazing. Like, don't be upset with this fusion if it means that you get another amazing champion in your roster.
Yeah.
Be thankful that actually you're going to get something which was the epic was relatively easy to get.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of, I think there might have even been another rare that went into it, which was a very good rare. So for me, it was like, look at what you can achieve. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Coffin Smasher. That's right.
And Soulbound.
And Soulbound as well.
Yeah.
Both very, very good champions in this game. Yeah. So I think sometimes people just focus on that kind of end piece of the puzzle and get upset when actually, you just need to take a step back and say, well, hold on a minute, what is achievable on all of these events? All right, I might not be able to finish all the events, but what can I achieve? And what does that mean that I can do? So can I get another book? Can I get, another, whatever it is, a shard or something? But don't necessarily always think, can I just get that last thing? Think about what you can do within your means leading up to it.
Yeah.
I personally like the idea of waiting to do a bigger fusion, but also like with the Rotos fusion, like introducing new champions. I like that idea.
I like the aesthetics of each character. They're not similar at all. The fusions are completely different each time, and each one of them is breaking the rules either a little bit more or a little bit less than the other. But they're kind of breaking the rules that are set down since day one. And I like the versatility, and it sounds like they've got a lot more ideas going forward. I think we're getting a Faction Wars champ as soon as you complete everything in Faction Wars, right? So I think they're going to try and get a champ out for that. But in terms of like fusions going forward, I've had an idea this week in chat. How would you think it would be if we had 2 fusions at once, but you could only fuse one? So let's say Rotos and Siphi were both fusible. Obviously, most people would fuse Siphi, but you literally had a decision to make. You could only choose one of those champions.
Cool idea. I like that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So like the twins out of the Matrix, or just like I'm sure there's so many doubles that they could do with samurais or whatever.
Right.
But having that would literally make conversation for you guys on YouTube and Twitch. Like people would like, okay, which one will I go for? Like literally, it would divide the community, but in a good way, because each character would offer something different for the account that they need it, right?
Right.
But yeah, I think that could be something cool. Just to have like.
I think it'd be cool because, like Hades said, you'd have also had more access if there was like a good epic.
Right.
In both fusions.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that could be quite a good spin on it as well, actually, because maybe they take different directions.
One could be fire, one could be ice, one could be attack, one could be defense, one could be a healer, one could be a crowd control, light and dark. There's
definitely lots of stuff they can work on.
Mate. Yeah, so when I thought of that this week, I thought it was really interesting. I was trying to think of some downsides maybe to that, but I'm not sure. Collectors like myself, like they like to try and get one of each character, so that would kind of suck if I was to choose one, and then I would probably get the same one in a shard or something, and not the one I need. But that's a me problem, right? But I mean, having that decision factor and add communication within the community, I think could be really cool. So Brachus was a bit much for me. I decided to say no. I saved up all my shards for the Tormin, which I because I've been playing for about a year, I knew there was going to be another Christmas fusion. We didn't know there was going to be Tormin at the time, but I saved up my shards and all my resources, thinking, okay, if Brachus is going to be expensive, the Christmas one is going to be pretty expensive too. And lo and behold, we got announced Tormin. So Tormin has a crazy origin story. Released broken AF, announced. It was rather expensive, but people were committed. They were like, they've gone 2 or 3 months without a fusion at this point, and they needed that something to go for. And Tormin was just, oh mate. But the thing is, so Tormin was so broken, well, so that's he was meant to change the speed meta in Arena. That he did, but it was a bit too far, right? And now, this is where kind of all the stuff started going pretty bad at Christmas. Polarium announced 3 days later that they were going to nerf him, right? So people had literally spent hundreds of dollars and pounds to try and get this Tormin character because he was so good. And then just a few days later, they announced there's going to be a nerf. And that nerf didn't come into effect for 2-3 months. And then the nerf wasn't even all that because people had got used to him and they just, they nerfed the nerf almost. So, I don't know, I think a lot of people weren't really happy with the whole Tormin fusion was handled. What was your guys' experience with Tormin? Cold Brew, what were your thoughts, man?
Yeah, it was the same exact thing as you. I didn't go for Brachus. I saved everything. Like a worst case scenario with the potions, I was ready for anything they would throw at me. So I fused Tormin when he was announced and showed up in the fusions.
Yep.
And I honestly, I hate Tormin. I find his skill set really boring, like freezing the enemy based on using their skills.
Yeah.
It's a very, I don't know, boring mechanic for me at least. I'm used to using Uke teams, like going first and then defense down, that kind of teams. But yeah, especially sometimes it actually bugged the game and it made my game freeze.
Right.
Tormin versus Tormin.
Wow.
So passively made your game freeze as well as the opposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
It freezes their animations and they're just looking at each other for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then they start moving. So it's not something my computer was just the game design. But yeah, overall Torment, I do find like his aesthetics, he looks amazing, but his kit is like very he's got so much crowd control. He's really great, but I think it was good thing that they actually nerfed him.
Yeah,
I think he deserved the nerf, and it was rightfully done so.
But because that nerf was so long from the announcement, it felt like the nerf wasn't even much of a nerf. It was just a slight change, and it's like my point is they probably didn't need to announce the nerf so soon, and then wait 3 months for the nerf to be implemented, and then it wasn't even. He's still like a very strong champ. He's literally in my arena team purely for his passive, really. The provoke is a bonus, but that passive is just so OP. So there he is. But yeah, did it take you long to get infused, buddy? Cold Brew?
No, I think I had 13 of the voids needed.
Right. Because it was all voids, wasn't it? That's right.
It was all voids. Yeah, I had like 13 of the voids. I had all the void potions ready.
Yeah.
I think I only needed like Harry specs, I think, and he was on an easy event coming up on Christmas Day or something like that.
Yeah. And
it was quite easy for me. I didn't find any difficulty infusing him. It was just waiting for the event to come up.
Nice, man. So OpticalX, you haven't quite joined into the game just yet, but what's your sort of? You must know the whole Torment story. That was pretty much going on just as you were starting out, right?
Yeah, I just started out and I was watching a lot of top tier gameplay with Torment, and everybody had something to say at that time. So for me, Torment, for me, honestly, at the time, Torment was just, I wanted him because he looked so good.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I wanted him. I didn't really understand his mechanic until, because I wasn't really in high tier arena either, so I wasn't really running in to a lot of Torments until I was able to get to Gold 4. That's when I started to realize, yeah, this guy kind of sucks facing him. But then I got Rotos and everything was okay.
Okay, we get it. You got Rotos.
I can just one-shot him. I can literally one-shot a Torment with Rotos. Now if I take the first turn and I have my defense down on, I just smack him with Rotos's A3 and he can't even revive himself.
Right. Yeah, Rotos is a great Torment killer, but I mean, you haven't really made it in life unless you've got a beard bracelet like Torment. I mean, or like, mate, he's got like 7 of those beard bracelets, mate. They are banging. A very cool aesthetic character, right?
So good.
Oh, yeah. Mate, yes. They've really got the dwarves looking pretty cool. But having a nice stuff like Torment, even from his cloak, like, and yeah, aesthetically, they've just got these characters. They should really just give their artists a raise or something, because damn, they are putting in work. Again, like we mentioned as well on previous episodes, to have like fan content. So when we mentioned skins for characters, it wouldn't be good if they got the community involved and actually started asking fans to do a skin for, say, Torment or a skin for Harvest Jack, and they had all these sort of competitions and people putting in their skin versions, and maybe that skin got implemented into the game kind of thing. Something like that for a Torment would be amazing. A Razin, and Ether. You could literally go ham on all of these characters and get the community involved, and that would be really awesome, honestly.
I agree.
I would love to have that. That'd be great. Hellhead, is there anything you'd like to say on Torment? What was your experience with him, buddy?
Yeah, I actually fused him really early because it was one of the few fusions where they didn't introduce, I think, a load of new champions, and I had a lot of them. It was all voids. That was the hard thing, but I had them. Yeah. So I actually fused him super quick. There was also a diagram with the champions you needed that came out like a day or two before. Yeah. That someone had kind of farmed out of the game. So I had them all ready to go. I literally fused him day 1 or day 2 or something. Nice. And I fed back to the mods the day that I got him. This champion's totally busted. Like, he is stupidly busted right now. You should do something before a lot of people get him, because in his current state he cannot stay in the game. Yeah. And I kind of sat on it, and then before the end of the fusion, obviously they announced actually he's busted. And you just sort of think to yourself, who's playtesting this stuff? Like, how has this champion got through a group of playtesters? Because any champion did anything, and that team gets frozen. Like there was pretty much no skill. Gear sets were proccing it, masteries were proccing it.
Yep.
Everything, and he's still strong now. Like you say, he's still in my arena defense team.
Yep.
I like that he's strong. I like that he broke up the meta a bit, but I think they probably took the passive too far. I still think they've taken the passive too far, because actually what it means is you can't run certain teams against him without just being hit by too much RNG, and that's the thing here. It takes a lot of skill out of the build. It becomes a lot more about RNG, which I'm not really in favour of.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Dark Elhane has handled it.
Has she though? Let's briefly jump onto that, okay? So
I pulled her, I think, last night too.
Well, no, you got it from the daily login, didn't you?
Also.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have two. I've pulled her as well, and I've got another one in the vault. But have any of you guys actually tried her out against Tormin or anything?
I think Hades.
Yeah, so I did something. It was actually the La Gaming, who's another YouTuber.
Okay.
Came to me and said, "Do you fancy doing a video with her?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it," because I didn't have one done. He'd already got one built before she was dropped.
Right.
So he showed me in a kind of live chat his version, and we played against some Tormin teams. And in fairness, she did her kind of passive really effectively a couple of the times, and she froze herself up a couple of the times as well. So she kind of did what she was designed to do, and she hits pretty hard. She's not a bad champ for damage. She hits pretty hard, but there's also this kind of flip side that she can just freeze herself and do nothing, because her second passive kind of counters the first. But yeah, I mean, there's also a question to say, should this new epic come in and completely override a really strong legendary champ? So I don't think that she should be the answer. I think they should just fix the passive on the first one, you know. So it's a bit like what they've done with this Relentless set. Don't nerf the Relentless set to fix a problem with a champion.
Just fix the champion. Yeah.
Like grow some balls and fix the champion. Don't fix a whole set which is going to nerf loads of champions that actually aren't that good without the set.
Yeah, so like Robar, for example, there was nothing wrong with Robar. People are putting Relentless gear on him. It was fine. It worked great. It was fun. It was effective. People are using Robar. It was awesome. But now, because of Rotos, Robar isn't as good. Like,
exactly.
So they've literally nerfed the set rather than just nerf the character. Now, my thought on that was maybe there are other characters with extra turn mechanics coming out in the future, and they wanted to fix it now rather than have to do it all again later. So maybe they're like preparing for another character. But it was kind of bad that they kind of messed up Robar and anyone else with Relentless gear, just because of Rotos. There's always one that ruins it for the others.
They should have nerfed the gear in general? Like, do y'all think it was the issue was a big one in general?
So yeah, because the Relentless gear, okay, is really useful because it was proccing on top of the extra turn procs from the skills from the characters, right? So each turn you had a chance to cascade an extra turn, and that made the Relentless gear desirable in tournaments, and go for those, right? Especially the legendary gear. People were going ham for the 6-star legendary Relentless gear. But I haven't seen many people go for the epics because of the nerf. But however, my Rotos is still working fine in him. I think it just Rotos ruined it for everyone else. You know?
But my clan boss Rotos just died. I was using him in clan boss a lot, and he was doing almost as much damage as my occult brawler, and now he's just bad. It's so sad.
Mate, many people get some good results with Rotos in clan boss, right?
Yeah, but with the Relentless, like, dude, it was like 20 turns sometimes in a run, because, you know, if you manual it, obviously I manual, so when you manual it and you're always just hitting his A1 after you got his max health off of his A2, it was so nice.
The amount of health that he was getting as well, it just stacked up from the clan boss. He was literally the last to die as well, man. Like
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings us on to Tormin. To Rotos, pretty much. So Rotos was your first fusion optical, right?
Yes.
So talk us about your experience of building up to Rotos. Was you hyped? Did you obviously knew what was going on with Tormin? Did you know you was going to take part from the start? What was your sort of plan of action going into this?
At first I was super intimidated. Never did a fusion. Wasn't really spending as much, and I also had other good champions that I could work on. So at first I was honestly just gonna go for Sepulcher. I thought Sepulcher was a great champion, and people were like, hey, have you checked her out? If you don't want to do it, maybe you should just go for her. And I was looking at her, I was like, yeah, maybe I should just go for her, because you know there was all the new rares that you had to get, and there was like events that were stacking on events that was stacking on other events that you were having to, you know, keep up with all of the events. And it kind of felt a little overwhelming for my first fusion. I knew he was good, and he seemed like he was really awesome, but I wasn't totally motivated until I pulled Siffy. Then it was no question.
Oh my god! So you're literally very intimidated with Rotos. Your first ever fusion. You're like, oh, how am I gonna do all of this? And then you literally have 3 voids. You pull a Siffy on your second void, and that's pretty much committed you to the grind, right?
Yeah. So after that, I was like, okay, let's do this. I also will say, I felt super exhausted at the end of it. Yeah. And when Killian came around, I was just like, nope, sorry. Sorry.
But it drove you, got it. It took you a long time, are you satisfied with the grind, right? Because the Arbiter grind before the fusions is one of the longest grinds in the game, and that Arbiter grind is like very satisfactory. As soon as you get Arbiter, it's a game changer to your account, pretty much. Did you feel that with Rotos?
Oh, for sure. I'm one of those people who appreciates the grind as well.
Yeah.
So when you finally have fused everything, when you finally ascended everything, and blah blah blah, leveled up everything, and ranked up everything, and you can actually push that button and fuse that character. Yeah, I was definitely satisfied. And then, of course, like I didn't mention this earlier, but he was level 50 when I beat Nightmare campaign with him. Jeez. Just like, what? Like, this guy's crazy. But he also had Relentless. He also had that Relentless too, but still.
Were you was he 6-star level 50 or 5-star level 50?
5-star.
Wow.
5-star 50.
Ridiculous.
And that's with Siffy as well, right?
Yeah, with Siffy. She was maxed out though, and she had a bunch of speed, so that was really important.
Oh, mate. But so your first fusion was quite an experience for you then, really, man, huh?
Yeah. Exhilarating.
Mate, it's crazy. I think my first fusion was Foley, and it wasn't as exhilarating as Rotos, let me tell you. Rotos was really satisfactory. But yeah, Hades, what was your thoughts on Rotos, man? You obviously went for him as well. I take it you got him pretty quick, and you got a video out in prompto time, as you do. By the way, chat, we've got a Discord channel, and I've got a channel in there called Latest Videos. I might as well rename that to Hades Corner or Hades Section or something. Like, he pops in like 3 or 4 videos a day, and he's the only one to put a video in there for the last 2-3 weeks, and it's just full. So if any of you want a whole history of Hades videos, just jump on into Latest Videos, and you can see everything he's done over the last week. Lots of content, man. But yeah, I'm guessing you got Rotos out pretty quick too, huh?
I got Rotos in a reasonable time. I didn't have any of the... I think Rotos was quite difficult in terms of... I don't believe there was any champions in the game, was there? I think everything... or most of them were new, so I didn't have any of the epics. I had to do the full grind like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I wasn't super quick, and I didn't have tons of resources to get me there quick either at that time, so... but yeah, I mean, I knew that I wanted him, and I knew that his kit looked fun. But I didn't realise probably how powerful he was at the time of trying to make him. And he's turned out to be probably the best champion in the game, maybe best damage dealer in the game at least, I'd say. And also a champion that completely breaks up the way you have to build teams in the arena.
Yeah.
because of that block revive, there was quite a big push towards defensive teams that had multiple revive champs.
Yep.
Which made fights last really long. I had 15-minute plus fights when I was pushing for plat at times. Just trying to break the cycle of people reviving their whole teams. So I think actually he probably opened people's eyes to block revive and other champions starting to come out of the mix. But I think he's a cool champion. I just think his damage multipliers are too high.
Don't say
I
that.
still do. They are. They're ridiculous.
He's half my Ice Golem team. Like,
He can one-shot anyone.
I know.
He can to one-shot anyone.
That's called fun, Hades, not OP or broken. It's fun, okay? All right, it's good.
It's fun when you have him, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's fine. I'm probably with you, mate. I'm just enjoying him is all.
Yeah, no, and I do as well. When I'm using him, I enjoy him. Sometimes, you know, when you've wiped out the other 3 opponents, yeah, and you're 4v1,
and it's Rotos.
and you're still looking at it thinking, this should go either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
You turn on auto and something happens and just Rotos clears you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've literally had one of those fights today. 4v1, and he just wiped my whole team out since the nerf. So yeah, what I don't like is, we talked about it earlier. I think Optical talked about it, when you've got yourself a Tormund sitting there who's a tank, right?
Yeah.
That's his build. He's a tank, and he doesn't have any decreased defense on him or anything like that. But still, Rotos just walks up there and one-shots him in the face, block revive, and you're like, that's my tank.
Yeah.
That's the guy that can take the hit. So I think they've overtuned him, but like, he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun, and I love it when they go berserk and start doing multiple hits, especially when it's my own. But yeah, I just feel like it's this whole kind of power creep thing in the game where Tifi and Rotos together are too strong.
Right.
And I don't like that, because I like to see, especially in the arena, I'm a big fan of the arena, but I like to see variation, and I like to be able to create variation. But when you're forced to sort of pigeonhole a team to fit a mould, because that's the mould that works, that's when the game becomes less fun for me.
Do you think they were trying something different though? So this is with fusion pairings like Juliana Romero. This is by far the most optimized and efficient and crazy OP pairing of characters, and they're both legends. Do you think they were just kind of testing the waters and seeing what they could do, much like they did with Brackus, but on a fusion pairing level? Maybe we could have more fusion pairings in the future.
Yeah, I think they were, and I also think they full well knew that they were going to Leafy on like one of these times 10, and I'm certain they were kind of looking at it as a how much can we make out of a fusion?
Yeah.
How much can we actually stretch the cash? Just after Christmas, I think it was. Was it just after Christmas?
Well, not so long ago. So yeah, January. Yes, January time after the tournament.
Like a time when perhaps people would not spend as much on kind of leisure, or their free activity, because tighter.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were just sitting there like, let's do this. Let's see if we can make them spend more than ever.
Well, whoever missed out on Tormin, or didn't want to take part in Tormin, obviously had the chance to take part in the Rotos. So it's literally like, for the people who are making the choice who to go after. Not everyone can go after every single fusion, like we've mentioned already. So some people are literally just making that choice. And yeah, I think there's more to come in the future. I think I do agree that Rotos is still very strong. I think they should have nerfed the character rather than the Relentless gear, because the Relentless gear is now less desirable than what it once was. So there's going to be less money in the tournaments and that for them as well, are my thoughts, really. But with Block Revive in the arena, I've kind of been, because my first 2 legends were Blood Gorged and Foley, and both have a Block Revive. So I've always been Block Reviving in the arena as well, but not to the extent. It's obviously been like AoE for Foley. Blood Gorge's A3 does ignore defense and is basically a sniper and blocks revive, but Rotos just does it all, mate. He's kind of both of them put together. But yeah, he's really strong.
But he's also, what makes him so unique is that he's also the equivalent of a tank. Because
he gets the heals in his A2,
yeah, and he can take a massive hit and just take half damage. That's the difference between like a
and
Blood
then he
Gorged,
hits you back.
Yeah, exactly. A Blood Gorged you've got to build a team so well to make a Blood Gorge work. Otherwise, Blood Gorge will just sit down and he won't get up again. He's not strong enough.
Yeah.
So by design, there's such different champions.
Yeah.
Whereas Rotus, you have to pick the right team to battle him. Otherwise, he will just beat everybody up. You know, you can go and swipe him with a Mountain King full damage, and he'll take the same amount of damage as he would from a Harvest Jack, you know, hitting like a wet noodle because of his passive. So it's fairly unique in his design. But yeah, but I like it. I like that he's unique. I like that. I just think it hits too hard.
And Cold Brew, what was your experience, man?
Yeah, I love the champion. I think he's great. I use him not everywhere, but in arena I use him in dungeons in some teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, in campaign, nightmare campaign. So yeah, I did find it a great addition to the game.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the experience overall, and I am enjoying him each and every day. But I do know people are literally ripping their hair out over this character also. So maybe something needs to be looked at. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think he's very fun. I enjoy him each and every day. So that's cool. So then, once we've got Rotos done, we had Cillian the Lucky. I want to start with you this time, Cold Brew. How did Cillian the Lucky? We kind of got a little bit of a leak of him beforehand as a St. Patrick's Day fusion. What was your initial thoughts? Was you excited, disappointed? Were you just like looking forward to getting another new character? What was the deal?
I didn't. Yeah, I just wanted to fuse him just to get it over with. Yep. I found his kit okay with, and I had most of the champions needed, so I think I had most of the epics actually needed. So I didn't really mind. It was just, you know, the potions part that sucks a bit, but yeah, I just fused him and he's in my vault.
Oh really? Not even in faction wars for Bannerlords?
No, I don't. I could, but he's level 50. I'm not gonna farm masteries for him or anything. I could put some gear on him, but I don't really care.
So
I just
so quick word on the masteries. I did a little for science experiment on masteries. So I got the new fusion, but say you got a Cillian to level 60, okay, so sorry, to 6-star, level 1 6-star, and then you put a character into the masteries until they're finished. Do you know what level they get up to? Anyone got an idea?
Yeah, I usually do this. If he's level 60 and you put him at level 1, he's gonna finish up at level 42, 43.
We got to 45. I think that was with the Battle Pass experience as well.
Yeah,
though,
that's why. That's why.
But yeah, so 6-star from level 1 to 45. So I've literally, each and every single one, I have 60 level 60s now. I've manualed literally most of them, and I've been getting their masteries with them all at level 60, okay? So I've been wasting...
60 level 60.
Yeah, I've been wasting all that energy. I should have got them to 60, then put them through the masteries, and then they're level 45, and then I put them through the campaign. So if any of you, chat, want to save a whole load of energy, that's what you should be doing, okay? But yeah, each of my 60s are masteried up, and Cillian is no different. He is in my Faction Wars team. So for Bannerlords, I have Champfort, Stag Knight, Warcaster, was that Seneschal, and Cillian the Lucky. So Cillian is just a beast in Faction Wars, honestly. Who have you got in Faction Wars for Bannerlords, Brew?
I think I have Hordin.
Okay, yep.
And I haven't really bothered with... I've got Stag Knight, but he's a level 40, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, Hordin is there with some good gear. He just pops them with his A1.
Yep.
And gets a turn each time. So I just use that to farm the crypts. But now that they actually changed them and they're easier, I might actually try and build a better team to go higher.
Yep. Mate, Cillian is I can't rate him highly enough for Faction Wars, mate. He's very useful. I just built him tough. I've got characters around him that do some damage, and he's great. He's just got so much stuff going on. So yeah, I would definitely try and check him out. OpticalX, did you go for Cillian? You said earlier you got Rotos and you're like, nope. Is that right?
Yeah, Rotos. Yeah, he was
definitely
exhausting resource-wise.
Right.
So, you know, I spent a bunch of my gems and stuff because I was just, and I sacrifice.
That's a long word. What did you sacrifice?
I'm gonna admit it, and everyone is gonna hear this. But I had to sacrifice a maxed out apothecary.
Oh dear.
In order,
Why?
I had to. I because the event. Okay, the event where you had to get apothecary.
Yep.
During that, I was like, I was still in the mindset of not getting Rotos, so I didn't care. So I skipped that event, and it was one of the first events, the one where you got apothecary from it.
Right.
Yep.
And I was like, nope, I'll just skip that event, and blah blah blah. I'll just get Sepulcher, and then I had to. Like, it was funny. Like, I made a speech and everything that night because he was one of my first good, good champions. You know, he's such a good champion. But I got another one, so apothecary 2.0.
Fair enough. So obviously you were burnt out after Rotos, after getting Siffy. Now, can you get in the mindset of getting obviously 99% of the fusions for over a year? Is that something that you're building yourself up to like to go for every fusion, or are you just like going to be picking and choosing?
Yeah, I'm cherry picking. Especially for I'm not really interested in the Skull Lord one as much either, just because, and it depends on where my account's at, because I know right now I'm trying really hard to finish my Arbiter missions, so I'm training up food because I'm on the 6-star Ascend missions right now, and I don't have any, and I need to train up all those to 6 stars because I was dumb and I didn't save any, so it's just like prioritizing things, really.
Okay, man. Well, honestly, I think Cillian is, again, here's that bit of fun that I was looking for. Again, St. Patrick's Day, they've added a bit of RNG and a bit of luck into his build. But really, I mean, he can farm campaign. Obviously, he's not a 6-second farmer, but he is like very useful. Hades, have you checked out Cillian the Lucky yet, or has he just been in your vault also?
Yeah, no, I had some good fun with him in the arena actually, and I've been meaning to improve my Bannerlord's Faction War team. It's one of my weakest teams.
Yeah, I'm sure it's many people's weakest teams, honestly.
Yeah, it's a tough faction. I do have Lugan, and I've had Baron for a long time, so I had like 2 strong champions, but all of the epics that I had were terrible. But I was just checking as you were chatting there, and I do have Stag Knight, which I need to finish off, and I've got Cillian, who's now built up. So all of a sudden, you get a couple of different champions in the mix, and then it's quite a good team.
Yeah.
So definitely a team that I can work on now to push through to higher levels. But yeah, like you say, he's good for faction wars. He's reasonable anywhere in the game, but he's just not top tier anywhere in the game. I'd say. But yeah, I think if I wasn't a content creator, I probably wouldn't have been going for him as hard as I did compared to some of the others that we did.
Aesthetically, looks great again though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And interesting, to the point you were making earlier about you can gain levels whilst you're farming through your masteries. You can do the same whilst you're farming for your potions and all sorts of different areas of the game. So the potion crypts are pretty easy compared to level 20 stuff elsewhere. So you can definitely run that level 45 champion that you then need to ascend through the keeps as well. And that's generally what I'll do is, if I do it manually, I'll run them for everything manually and probably get them to about level 52 roughly, which again, like I say, just using your energy better. Because I don't auto click anything, and I should do to waste loads of my time, but I manual everything in this.
Yes, so I do auto something when I'm like AFK or something, just something for chat to watch, honestly. But when I'm doing potion runs, I'm trying to do like potion runs for like speed runs. Like I'm trying to shave off those seconds wherever I can. So the Arcane Keep, I'm on 14 seconds.
Really?
The Magic Keep.
Show us your team for that.
So we've got Ethos, Kaimar, Tyrell, and 2 Royal Guards. And it's just Nuke City, really. It depends on when Kaimar resets on the 2nd or 3rd wave, but I'll do a quick run here. But yeah, I'm all about like shaving seconds off where I can in the Arcane Keep, in all potions, really. So that is my content, and I try and figure out the speeds, and if I can fine tune anymore. I know there's a 15-second, like there might be a 10-second run in there when I get some ultra end gear, but 14 seconds I'm very happy with. But yes, I don't really do the XP farming in the potions. I'm all about trying to shave off those seconds. But Minotaur, where it could take like 2 hours to get the grind done, is quite tricky. So yeah, speed running is what I'm about, and then if I click on the boss, it might get it done quicker. But yeah, mate, it's I haven't done any of those glitches either, so they're all manual runs, and it's pretty cool.
Impressive times for sure, definitely.
So we've got a 16-second there. So yeah, 14 was a lot of RNG, worked out really well for us. But yeah, that's what I do with my potions, man. So yeah, I enjoy the potions whenever they open up, just to try and shave a few seconds off, like 16 seconds on the Magic Keep. I think I'm 17 seconds on the Void. I think we got the Force Keep down to like 12 or something. I think we've got the Minotaur down to like 18 seconds. So yeah, we're really like speedrunning. I love trying to shave seconds off my team, honestly. I love that sort of the niche sort of fine-tuning and to try and problem solve with that specific team. And by the way, ethos is a massive part of that. I've had someone on chat which pulled an ethos this week, and they're like, how good is ethos? And I'm like, he's in every single one of my teams, and I've been playing it like a year and a half. Like, he's not in the clan boss team, obviously, but if you're talking dungeons, he farms Nightmare. Like, he solos Nightmare. He's nuts. He's nuts. When was farming the Skull Swans, I tried a stint on Nightmare, and yeah, he was just farming Skull Swans on Nightmare for ages.
Nice. Can I see your ethos where you built him?
Absolutely. So credit where credit's due. I'm pretty sure Julian done this build from my Discord. So for those who don't know, Julian is like, I don't know how to hype up this guy anymore, but he's been with us in the Discord for about a year. He doesn't do account takeovers or anything like that. He just jumps on and helps us out on stream every now and then. He's built many of my characters, and he helps out everyone on the Discord. But he literally stuck some gear on ethos as to what I had. We've got like 4 attack, 2 speed. We've got 5,120 attack. We've got 1,500 defense, 192 speed, crit rate of 101, crit damage of 238, and a little bit of accuracy of 156. So he hits hard. I'm booking him at the moment. So he's got a few books to go, but yeah, he's just amazing, an amazing champion. I've went down the crit damage section in the masteries, so if any of you guys pull an ethos, mate, he's going to be in each and every single one of your teams, trust me. So you said you've recently got an ethos as well, right?
Yeah, it's literally just, he's at 5-star, like 50, so he's going to be my next 6-star. But yeah, that looks really fun actually. He hits harder, from what I've just seen him, he hits harder than...
He's in my arena team.
Slaps.
Oh mate, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. Just for wave control. Because he's void. He's great for everywhere. And yeah, I'm booking him right up. I got Queen Eva like the week before, and I was so hyped during the 10 times event. I was like, yes, Queen Eva, awesome. And then I got Ethos the week after. I was like, oh great, Ethos, because Queen Eva didn't turn out that great. And Ethos has just changed my account really. And he looks aesthetically great as well. He looks amazing with the purples and the golds, and like, he looks awesome. So if anyone gets this guy, Cold Brew, do you have an ethos?
No, I don't.
Get good, kid. Oh, good. He's amazing. I can't wait till you get him. He's amazing.
I have Burgess.
Well, okay.
Burgess is good now.
He's not an ethos, but he's definitely good. Absolutely.
Oh man.
He's become good though.
But yeah, I can't wait for you to try out Ethos, Hades. You're going to be owning dungeons, and yeah, that's going to be great, man. I'm sure you're going to have some great compositions and get some speed runs done. It's going to be great.
It's a bit of a personal request, but can I just see your bottom 3 items on your gloves, your chest, and your boots?
So yeah, so crit damage. I've got max attack on there with some glyphs and some crit rate on the gloves. Attack chest piece as well, a little bit of speed, a little bit of accuracy, touch of crit rate. And we've gone for the speed, I'm pretty sure, on the boots. So yeah, crit rate and attack. I've tried to put as much attack on the glyphs as I can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Your attack level's really high, and I wondered if you had to put boots on as well. But you haven't. Just done good rolls of attack percentage.
Gone glyphs. I mean, just for those gloves, there's quite a lot there. But yeah, I mean, it's really built up to be hitting so hard, and I probably could put more glyphs on as well if I'm honest. Love that shield, by the way. Mwah, perfect, like crit rate 4.
Yeah, nice.
Happy days.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think I even had a quad crit damage weapon on him at some point, but I could put, maybe I think that's all see it. But yeah, Ethos chat, absolutely amazing champion. Moving on to the last fusion, which we got this week, which is kind of the whole reason we brought up fusions, because we started off at Sir Nick that it was pretty simple. Foley was tough for many. Shamrock was mediocre at best when he first got announced. Morley was interesting and worked out great and was kind of affordable for most. Harvest Jack, everyone put all their resources in and didn't put or didn't have any resources left for Baracus without heavily investing. Tormin, many people saved up from Baracus and got Tormin, that was broken. Rotos is still kind of OP, but many are finding him really fun and finding different ways to manage him. Cillian the Lucky, then we had Rotos, very fun. Cillian the Lucky, mainly a Faction Wars character if we're being brutally honest. But then we got Skull Lord Vral, and I remember talking with Julian like the day before that it got announced. Because we got that little sneaky picture of the 4 drakes underneath, and I was talking with Julian and said, wouldn't it be just ridiculous if they had like 16 Skull Swans? And lo and behold, we literally pissed ourselves laughing because we had to farm 16 Skull Swans. Like we couldn't believe it. What was your guys' reaction to that?
Yeah, I just felt they were gonna troll us with that, with the skull swords.
Yeah.
But I found it a fun break from needing 15 champions that you didn't have before and having just one of the 16 rares. It was a good break, and it's good for free to play players.
Yep.
As a good addition, easy way to farm it.
Yep.
It's just that I think he needs a bit of a buff and a bit of, change to how this champion works with Skullsworn.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think let's not sort of go into like the character's build 1 second, because there's lots I want to talk about his build. But in terms of like that, I think going back to the sewers is something different. I haven't been back to the sewers in like 5 months. Like there's no reason for me to be going to the sewers. So to go back to the sewers was pretty cool. And so the aesthetics for the sewers was actually pretty good, by the way. I like the sewers. Like it was different. It was like you say, for free to play players. It was. All right, Al, calm down, son. Jeez. So, yeah, for free to play, it was very simple. They know what to do. Many free to play players were kind of annoyed because they couldn't get it in the first day because it was taking a while to get Skull Swans, and the drop rate wasn't as high as what they thought. But really, over 3 weeks, it's very doable for free to play players, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely the most achievable free to play player. Champion by a long way.
Right, and I think it's just a bit of filler in between from now until the next battle pass as well, right? They wanted to have something in between, and I think this is the perfect guy for it, really.
I did think what would have been quite a cool idea would have been to actually almost have like there's a plague of Skull Swans, so you might be able to get a drop of a Skull Swarm in different areas, and it like highlights different areas on different days. An
infestation of lizards and Skull Swans. So you would get them in Dragon and...
you might have to go to stage 17 Dragon, you might have to go to, I don't know, wherever it is, but just, like you say, it was quite cool to go back to a different area of the game. But I don't love that they forced everyone to be in the same area of the game when there's actually... it might be that Obstacle's got some ascension that he needs to do, or whatever it is. But just forcing everybody to do that one thing, I just think it was a little bit short-sighted. I don't think it was a bad idea. Quite nice, as Cold Brew said, to kind of mix things up. But I just think they probably could have played on it a bit more, even made it fun.
But yeah, very fun character all the same. His A3, by the way, can we talk about his A3? So his A3 is like the most, I don't know, let me see if I can get him in a campaign battle real quick and check out this A3. If you guys haven't seen this A3, mate, you are in for, I've just done that again, hang on, where's he gone? There he is. So his A3 chat, yes, continue. So as you see, It takes up the whole screen, right? It attacks all enemies, has 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff. Now you check this out. Like, that is as animations go. I don't think we've seen an animation like it in the game. I think it takes up like half of your screen on the left hand side, and it's very Diablo-esque. I've played a lot of Diablo. He looks a lot like Diablo. And yeah, I really like the A3. Have you guys tried out his A3 and seen that yet? Because that was pretty cool when I first saw that.
That was the first time I saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, really cool design. Really cool. I love the design. Like in game, I prefer the design in game than I do, in like the character screen.
Yeah.
I just think they've done a good job on all his animations.
Oh, there it is again. Oh, mate, it's very, very cool. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, what is that? Like, yeah, it just took me aback. I'll put it on the one time instead. It's probably over now. But
the lore's pretty cool too. I like the lore of the actual champion.
There's lore.
Yeah.
Mate,
On the
I
Facebook.
actually bother with it. But so what's the lore about?
So apparently, at one point, like the lizardmen ruled like the land, Teleria or something, and they were like the most feared faction and blah blah blah. But eventually, like they started getting overthrown by all these people. That I guess they were getting bullied, and so long story short, they made a sacrifice to their gods as like a last ditch effort, and so Skull Lord Vargal was the one who like answered the call, I guess you could say, and he came back, and there's a whole story on like how the final battle went against demons. It was the demon spawn versus the lizardmen.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. Like there was at the end, Skull Lord was facing off against the demon lord leader, and it was, and like he cuts his head off and like holds it up, and then he decides to stay roaming the land instead of go back, because I guess the way it worked was he would come out when he was summoned and then go and then fix everything and then go back.
Yeah.
And then now he's kind of staying in the land of Teleria. I thought it was it was really good. It was a long thing to read.
It sounded
too,
like you enjoyed it. You soaked it up.
You were so into it.
Yeah,
yeah. It was a cool story. Like
you should,
I didn't
make a
know.
YouTube channel with that. Just the lore of
Mate, you should just stream the lore, like tell the story of Raid on Twitch, mate. I'll be like a story caller, story hour. You know, you tucking everyone in. Oh, mate, I'd watch.
Yeah.
I'm tuning in. That'd be great. So comic books would be great. Give me a Raid comic book. They've got great artists. They've obviously got some lore. Whack out a comic book. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, Skull Lord. Has anyone even tried him out? Obviously, his kit was kind of like disappointing. Really, I mean, wasn't he like the wrong affinity for like for Fire Knight or something? And I don't know. It just seems like he doesn't have a place other than Faction Wars for me yet. Yes, he can be used in Arena, but like other than that, it doesn't look like there's many places that this guy is being used, right?
Yeah, mainly because his multipliers are really bad. His multipliers are terrible. So I thought he might have a place in some dungeons with that A3, but he just hits too soft compared to a lot of other champions that can do the same sort of thing. So he ends up becoming just like this massive piece of meat that can soak up a ton of damage. And that's what he is. In effect, that's the best use I've found from so far, is literally like put him in front of people and hope that they go for him instead of someone else. But if they just put, I don't know, AoE taunt on it.
I said that as well. AoE taunt would be very useful.
Yeah, it would just change the dynamic of his kit. Actually, just that one change would make him viable in a lot of places.
Yeah.
See, I don't like him
Gengar.
as a tanky champion. That's the thing. I don't like how they designed him as a tanky champion. I'd rather him being a damage dealing champion because of his passive. You know, reviving Skullsworn all the time.
Yeah.
So if you have the Skullsworn in your team, he's gonna be the one that gets targeted. Like the AI will target the weakest champion, and it's gonna be Skullsworn. So I'd rather have him as a good damage dealer, and Skullsworn will be like the target for AI all the time.
Yeah.
And if you have him fast enough, then he'll keep reviving him and not be targeted. So I'd rather him being a big damage dealing champion.
Yeah.
That has a way to protect himself through like his minions, his Skullsworns. That's the whole thing, and not being the one that gets targeted. So that's like my theory of the champion.
But this is also the first time that we've kind of had minions within champions also, right? So this is this is literally a Lord legendary, and he does have minions. So maybe again they were dipping their toe in the water and seeing what they could do with minions. Maybe it's something they're gonna progress on, you know?
Yeah, I like that aspect about this fusion. That they just introduced a completely new way of a legendary mixed with the same faction rare.
Right.
And, like, I thought that was really cool.
Okay, good stuff.
I actually would like them to change like Skullsworn. You know, the connection with Skullsworn, that he revives him every time. A good buff would be that Skullsworn has he resists, block revive. Would be such a great change to the champion.
I don't know why they restricted it to one Skullsworn. As soon as I saw this guy, I was like, thinking faction wars, him plus 4 Skullsworns. Each additional Skullsworn could have like a different perk. So one has plus 25% health for each Skullsworn, the other has 25 defense or something. That each Skullsworn could have an each buff for each Skullsworn you had within the team, and then you got Skull Lord just wrecking faction wars. That could have been fun and interesting. So I don't know why they kind of restricted it to one Skullsworn. I think, we've just farmed 16. I'll farm 4 more if it allows me to do well in faction wars, So
I feel like they're a bit worried because they think they understand that this community are really switched on to making stuff happen in this game that they don't think of.
Yeah.
Like some of the team combinations that some of the people come up with in this game are pretty insane.
Yeah.
And I think any type of passive where it could unlock this kind of craziness in the game, I think they're wary of it because they've seen it already now where people are kind of using champions together a bit like the Unkillable team.
Yeah. And the Phoenix
team.
There's no
way they ever saw that. There's no way they ever saw that coming.
Yeah.
Someone could literally just run a team forever. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I just feel like they're probably just a bit wary about how strong they make passives.
Well, it looks like they've got the 4 main skills. You've got the main passive, and it looks like this Skull Brew passive was just added on as a bit of fun to be a little bit different, So maybe they're building their characters with 4, and the 5th passive is just for a bit of fun, But we'll never know. But guys, like that is pretty much it. We have flown through the 2 hours yet again. So thank you very much everyone tuning in tonight. Make sure you go and click on that the links in the description in the YouTube. We'll be posting up either later on today or early tomorrow. So I think Hades, you can be posting it as well.
Yep.
And Cold Brew can also. We're all going to be posting it on our channels. OpticalX, you're more than welcome to as well. I can add you onto the Google Drive if you want to do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you go to all of our channels, hit that follow button, show some support to the podcasters. Go and hit subscribe on YouTube. We've all got our own goals to meet. Hades is already setting the trend and setting the standards, so we're all trying to catch up in his wake right now. But yeah, go show some support to everyone. That's going to be great to have you all. So Hades, what are you up to this week, man? Why should we tune in this week? What are you up to, man?
I've actually got tons going on because I'm pretty new to Twitch. I'm putting quite a lot of emphasis on some of the stuff on Twitch, but I've actually got a really interesting night tomorrow where one of the long-standing players, a guy called Mr. P,
right?
Basically, he was one of the first people that came up with the slow speed tune comp in Sandbox. He's had enough of the game, so he wants to do like a full breakdown of his game and then burn the account basically. So that's going to be interesting. Interesting to kind of talk to him through his time in Raid and everything that he's done, and how he's got his teams built, and then just seeing what champions he's got. And then pretty much for me, usual type of stuff. A couple of account takeovers. I'm really interested in trying a bit more out on this Leech stuff as well. So trying to put a bit of time into some of the different champions for Leech. So yeah, should be a fun week.
Awesome, man. So that's Hell Hades on YouTube. That's Hell Hades TV on Twitch. Make sure you go check him out. Cold Brew, what are you up to this week, buddy?
I'm still gonna play around with the Skullsworn and the Lord Skull King. I want to play through, change up their gear a bit more and see if I can do something creative with them everywhere. I tried them already with different stuff, but I want to play more with them since I have them. and yeah, just go through the game.
Well, if you find a place for him, mate, where he's OP, hit me up, buddy. I would love to know. Okay. But thanks for being with us again this week. So that's Cold Brew Gaming on YouTube, and it's the same on Twitch, right? Cold Brew Gaming on Twitch. So yeah, go and hit that follow button and go subscribe to Cold Brew. That'd be great. Okay, so OpticalX. Also, what are you up to this week, man?
Oh, right now I got my rosin, so we got him to 60.
GG.
As well, so I'm hoping. Well, I'm not hoping. I know he'll help in some of my dungeons, but I'm trying to see how good he's going to be on my clan bosses as well. On as far as my specific team goes.
Yep.
Then I'm probably going to have Arbiter by the end of this month. Or before the end of this month.
That's so much quicker than I got mine. Oh, GG. Congratulations. So you're getting Arbiter missions like over the next few weeks. Good stuff, man. So
farming like crazy.
That's awesome. So that's OpticalX on Twitch, and he's on the same on YouTube. So again, go check out OpticalX and go and hit the subscribe and the follow button, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's been a great podcast.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to everyone in chat. We've had like a constant 60, 70 of you for the whole 2 hours. So thank you very much for tuning in. We're getting more of you each week. As I mentioned last night on chat, when we get to like 100 plus, we will start adding a Q&A within the Twitch, so we'll end on a Q&A with you guys. So any questions you would like to ask us or about the conversation we've had during the episode, or anything about us on Twitch, we can add that once we get enough of you in, right? So if you listen to us on Spotify or on YouTube right now, make sure you get on over on the Saturdays, come and say hi, and we'll get a Q&A going, all right? So again, thank you very much to everyone. It's been great having you all here. It's been a fantastic week, over 2 hours again, and we'll see you all next week, all right? Take care, guys. Peace.
See ya.
Thank you. See ya.